I'm on. All right. Hi, everybody. Sorry about the delay. I had a change of scenery today. I'm really excited to be with you. If you've forgotten who I am Miss Sullivan, and I teach here at Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads area. Shout out to all my kids. All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit about articulation. And if you've never heard this word before or you barely remember what it's about, that's totally fine. We're going to work together and we're just going to learn so much today, and by the end of it, you'll feel like a musical genius, and you'll be playing everything more beautifully. All right? So I'm going to hope and pray that you may have practiced or warmed up a little bit today, because we're just going to get right into the thick of things. Start with some long tones to get those notes ready to go. Now, I'm going to stay on concert B flat, but you can pick. I will allow you to pick any note to start with, but make sure your B flat's in tune first. I'm going to check mine. A little sharp. All right, make sure you are in tune. Let me get some space here. I have my trusty horn Horatio with me. And what we're going to do to start with, just to get a kind of foundation going here, is I'm going to play a rhythm, and you're going to copy me exactly how I play it, all right? And each rhythm I do is only going to be for 4 beats, so always know that. I'm going to turn on Dr. Beat on my phone here, so make sure we have a tempo going. All right. 4 beats for each rhythm. So I'm going to play it, and then you're going to copy exactly what I do. Okay? Sound good? Any note you want. Now, be smart about it. Don't pick a super high crazy note that you're still working on. Pick something kind of low, maybe concert B flat, concert C, somewhere around that area that you can trust that it'll come out every time. Okay? I'm going to start. This is just a trial one. See how it goes. Ready? 1, 2, ready? And you'll play right after me. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, let's try another one. Ready? And 1, 2, ready, and. How'd you do? It's pretty good. We did pretty fast, but I like this exercise because I want you to be able to listen and figure out where all the notes I played, did they sound the same? Did they sound different? Why did they sound different, other than some were 8th notes, some were 16th? You know, more about the musicality of it. Today is all about getting past the basic notes and making it sound more musical. All right. So articulation, let's get into this and see how we can break it down so it makes sense. And I read a good analogy before. We can think about it this way. When an actor is reading his lines and getting ready to perform, he has to try and represent the emotions of what's happening in that scene, right? So if somebody just died in the scene, he's not going to sound happy and positive. He's going to have really downbeat, really slow and really downcast sound, right? If something great happens, he's going to talk a little faster and talk excited and be positive about it. When we play music, we are exactly the same. We are acting out a story based on what the title is or what the composer is trying to portray. We are actors. We are talented musical actors. Isn't that crazy? So the way that we show our emotions and show what's happening in the music is through articulation. Okay? Now, the super technical definition that I found of articulation is the performance technique which affects the transition or continuity on a single note or between notes or sounds. Simplest way to put it, it's how we decide how each note's going to be played. That's all it is. It's how we decide, or how the composer decides what he wants each note to sound like. Is it going to be long? Is it going to be short? Is it going to be accented? Is it not? Okay? And based on the articulations, we change how the music sounds and how we feel about it, right? It's really amazing. It's really simple. And you've probably been doing that the whole time and you didn't realize. So what we're going to do today to work on it a little bit and to keep it pretty basic is we're going to be using our red book, as always, and we're going to work on Lightly Row, the duet right here, okay? So I'll give you a few seconds to get that out. It's on page 9, and we've most definitely, almost all of us, played this piece multiple times. We know this one pretty well, okay? That's what we're going to start with. So I'll give you a few seconds to look at it, make sure everybody's on the same page. If you would like to play the A part, if you'd like to play the B part, that's totally fine. I'll let you pick. I'm going to start with the A part just to have that melody going along. All right. And the first thing we're going to talk about is legato notes, but we're going to talk about that after we play through this once, just to get it back in our system, okay? So let's see if we can play through Lightly Row nice and slow. Let me get Dr. Beat back here. All right. Let's see if we remember all our notes. Let's start from the beginning. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Ready? And I did not warm up today. I'm very sorry. Oof. Let's see here. You guys are not the only ones that have to practice. All right. So we all remember Lightly Row. If you don't, it's a great song to learn. I see that some of you don't have your red book. At this moment, there's not much I could do about it. Like I said last time, reach out to your teachers. They may have done something like I did, where I took pictures of the essential pages they needed and sent to them. They could probably do the same thing for you. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is legato, which is a type of articulation. All it means is smooth and connected. Now, this word is an Italian word, okay? Most of the musical terms we use are Italian. Now, if you can tell me the translation of legato in the comments, I will give you a shout out because I'll be very proud of you. Let's see if anybody knows what does legato mean in Italian, okay? But when we think about it, it's, excuse me, I didn't say short before, did I? It's smooth and connected, all right? Just like if you were singing a ballad, every note is just smooth and connected together, nice and long, the full duration, okay? So legato, long, legato, long. Does that make sense? All right, so if we were to play Lightly Row legato, it would sound like this. Do you hear that there's not much space in between each note? No, it's not slow. Legato does not mean slow all the time. It just means smooth and connected, okay? So let's see if we can play legato through Lightly Row, okay? Whole thing, nice and smooth, nice and connected, all right? And 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready? How'd you do? It gives it a lot more of a beautiful, like smooth, happy sound, kind of like a dreamy sound, which I really love. I love playing legato. You probably didn't realize you were doing it, but that's typically what we start with the most. We play a lot of legato notes just so we get used to playing them all out, okay? Now, if you were to see it in music, it would look like, where's the camera? This line right here. This is called a legato line, okay? So, and that is how it is spelled. I'm sorry, this camera is a little strange today. Whoop, there it is. Legato. Anybody know what it means? I don't think anybody said it yet. And it would just be a line underneath your note. And that is just the composer's way of saying, I want this note smooth and connected and long, okay? That's all it is. Legato, long, legato, long. Keep that in your head, okay? Now, the next one that we use a lot is called staccato, okay? And this one, in Italian, it means detached, okay? Which means there's got to be space in between each note, just like empty space right in between them, okay? So each note, instead of playing it the full total duration, you're going to play it shorter than it's actually written, okay? Just a little bit shorter so that there's space in between each one and it sounds really short like this, okay? Let's see here. We're going to use the same song, but we're going to play it this time staccato. If we were to play it staccato, it would sound more like this. Do you hear how much space I put in between each note? A lot of room in there to wiggle, right? Okay. So this one, your tongue is the most important thing for all articulation. Your tongue has to be really fast. I like to think of when we do staccato, it's kind of like you're a frog and you've seen a fly and your tongue just goes boom to get it. That, that, that. Mr. Weir actually gave me a really good sound to think of when you're doing staccato articulation. Think of the word doot. Kind of like the little penguin, the doot doot penguin we see all the time. D-O-O-T, doot. And that cuts off that note right at the end, right? Let's see if we can play through Lightly Row, nice and staccato, nice short, okay? You ready? Let me turn Dr. B back on. And a 1, 2, nice and short, 2, ready? And all right, how'd you do? Did you well? All right, so this is the last time we're going to play the song, then we're going to move on. I'm going to give you a challenge because if you notice in your book, there's no articulations written here at all, right? Because we hadn't really gotten to that point yet in our lessons just yet, so they didn't introduce it yet. But that doesn't mean that this song doesn't need a little articulation, right? And before we move on, in case you were wondering, a staccato is just a little dot written underneath the note, and it would look like this. The dot, that's it. So you would see the note written out, and then there'd just be a dot either underneath or on top, okay? That's all it is. A little staccato note, just to give you a little facts for the future. Let's see here. Let's play through it. I want you to look through your music really quick. Think of the name Lightly Row. It's a duet. The word lightly is in the name. What do you think would be better to use? If you were the composer, would you want it to be long legato notes or would you want short and detached staccato notes? What do you think? All right, and this time, after you've thought about it a little bit, I want you to play whichever one you think is the correct one. So if you think it needs some staccato, try it with staccato. If you think it's legato, go for it, all right? Let's see if we can play it together. One more time. All right, 1, pick the one you like. 2, and 1, 2, ready? And how did it sound? Did you like the one you picked? Do you think you picked the right one? Now, challenge question for you. If you were listening to me, which one did I do? Write in the comments. Did I do legato or did I do staccato? Were you paying attention? Okay, so let's move on. One more song we're going to use that I think is very helpful. All right, in the same book, turn to page 13 for me. We're going to do number 48. It's called Go Tell Bill, okay? This one's really helpful for articulations. I'm going to keep saying that word so you hear it and you'll get it stuck in your head, all right? Go Tell Bill. This is from an opera, actually. It is from an opera called The William Tell, which is about a man named William. And if you've ever seen any pictures or cartoons where there's a guy standing up next to a tree and he has an apple on his head and the other guy's trying to shoot the apple off his head with an arrow, that is from this opera by Rossini. So if you didn't know that, it's a beautiful opera, a lot of great music, and I really love playing this song, as my students know. So let's look at Go Tell Bill. I did do legato. Look at you. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, I did. Good job, you guys. I love it. All right, so page 13. Go Tell Bill, all right? So let's just play through it normally before we look at articulations, make sure we have all the notes under our fingers. Luckily, it starts on concert B flat, so trumpet, clarinet, you start on a C, saxes, you start on a G, and flutes and trombones, B flat. It's really nice, okay? So let's start it nice and not too slow. Let's maybe do 90. Let's see how that goes. Dun, 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 ta. Make sure you really use that tongue for those eighth notes, especially to separate them, all right? Let's play through it, and while you're playing, think about each note and try to figure out, are we going to use staccato here? Are we going to use legato here? Try to see if you can figure that out before I tell you, okay? Let's try it from the beginning. And 1, 2, 1, 2, ready? All right, how'd you do? Did you make it? I hope that even if you did mess up, you kept going and pushing through just like William does in the opera. All right, so we have quarter notes and we have eighth notes. That's it, all right? Now, I would love to see what you guys think, but when I play this song, I believe that the composer Rossini wanted the quarter notes a little longer, so legato, but the eighth notes are shorter, okay? So now we're getting even more complicated. Not only are we using both legato and staccato, we're using them at the same time, one after the other, okay? So if we were to say it out loud, I like to just say long and short when I'm explaining how to play it. So if we're looking at the very first measure, we have 3 quarter notes and 2 eighth notes. Ta, 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 ti, ti. How I would want to play it is long, 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 short, short. So it would sound like this. Does that make sense? You see how that works? And I would then make every single eighth note short, make all of them staccato. So just pretend the little dot's right underneath them. So every measure would be long, 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 short, short, long, 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 short, short. Now, you may not be able to do it accurately the first time. Like everything else in music, this takes practice. But let's see if we can play through it with that articulation added in. Now, think about this, though. The very last note's a half note. What do you think we should do with the half note? All right, anybody? That's going to be your challenge. Should it be a legato note or should it be staccato? This one might be a little simple because there's a fermata over it, but let's see if anybody can figure it out. All right, let's try it from the beginning. Get the metronome back on because it's always important to stay in tempo while we play. All right, let's try it with our long, 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 short, short. You ready? From the beginning, and 1, 2, 1, 2, ready? And how'd you do? Now this song is actually meant to be a lot faster. If you've heard it before, it's like digga-da, 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 digga-da. So when you go faster, having those short eighth notes really helps you play it. Da 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 da, and it sounds more upbeat, exciting, right? Awesome. Now the great thing about articulations is that you can add them to any type of music and it will change the sound, because if I played Go Tell Bill all legato, it would really change how you feel about it, right? It's not as exciting, is it? It's a lot smoother, a lot more calm when it should be more excited, okay? So even just adding a few staccatos changes the entire feeling of the song. Now, a lot of our music, especially in our book just now, doesn't have articulations in it. So my challenge to you is, if you're playing a piece of music, look at the name, listen to the melody that you're playing, and try to figure out, should it be more legato? Should it be smooth and connected? Or should it be staccato, nice and short and detached? What do you think? All right, and if you try to do this on your own and you figure out an idea, reach out to your teachers and we will help you make sure you're in the same, at least getting close to the correct idea, okay? Because it takes some time and practice, right? And the best way to practice articulations, I will show you in the back of my book, my favorite place to be. There is a page 43. And it has rhythm studies. You see these? All kinds of rhythms on them. And notice no articulations whatsoever. So what I like to do, for example, I would play like number 5. You see number 5 here? It's just quarter notes. The first time I play through it, I'll pick a note and I'll play it all legato all the way through. And the second time, I'll play them all staccato. So I can practice, because just like your embouchure, your band face needs practice, just like your fingers needs practice, your tongue needs practice playing and going in and out that quickly. All right? It takes some work. So that is my challenge to you. Listen to your music. Listen to the things you're practicing and try to figure out, is it more legato? Is it more staccato? All right? And I hope this was helpful to all of you. And I hope it just makes your music a little more fun and more exciting to play. All right? I hope you all have a great day. And I'm here if you have any questions. Bye, everybody.